Okay, it has been 24 hours later. I hooked up the capacity controller after bringing the battery pack up with the BMS attached, and it actually brought it back up. The iMax did without the balance cable from the iMax, just the BMS, and it actually ended up being balanced once it got to full charge. So I put the capacity controller on here and I left it over in the last 24 hours. It has again dropped the voltage down, and it is showing a different reading than the Innova multimeter is showing. It is still not balanced, but it's all 4.1. Total voltage is 12.48. Number 1 is 4.144. Number 2, 157. And number 3, 182. So there is a difference according to this, but according to the Innova over here out of the camera range, it is better. So I don't know what to say about the capacity controller. It's not balancing perfectly, but I don't know. It's kind of a nice little gadget. So you'll notice now that I have put my second GT power RC meter in here, and after I unboxed it, I immediately noticed it has a different faceplate on it. This is 150A, and this is a 130A, and that of course is amps. The faceplate is different, but it's still the same thing, I believe. I don't know. So I evidently bought a 150 amp instead of the 130. And that doesn't make any sense because I just went back on my eBay history and rebought the same thing, but they sent me a little different one. So I don't know. The box is exactly the same. So I've got this little meter plugged in. I don't have the power connected up. As you can see, I've got it rigged up in a very unclean way here. It is fuse protected in case something does short out, but I've got a bunch of alligator clips holding it all together. So let's go ahead and connect our ground up. And there we go. And now the load just automatically starts. I'll shut that off right now. The capacity controller is still connected, and I don't know why I would leave it actually connected now. It's kind of done with fooling with that. So we'll just leave that unconnected for now. I just want to test this. I'm not going to run this down or very long or anything. So I just want to test these 3 meters against the charge controller. Charge controller is telling me I got 12.3. This doesn't say anything yet because the load is not on. This is telling me I got 12.45 volts, 12.4445. It's kind of dancing there. It was. Now they're both kind of dancing around. So no other readings. So let's hit the load now. And I believe everything comes on. Yep. Everything is on now. Doesn't matter what the charge controller says, it only gives me the voltage. 12.2 volts on this meter, 12.01, that's good. Amps, 2.78 now. It actually dropped. We'll watch it for a second. 2.78 is staying there. Voltage here, or pardon me. Okay, let's go back here. 2.78 amps. 2.82 amps. 2.86 amps. It's dancing around. So actually a little bit of difference there, and I don't know if because this one is in line first and then going into this one and then to the inverter, I don't know if that's making a difference. It may. it may be not quite the way to do it. So there is a difference, a few tenths on the amps there. Okay, so how about wattage? I can check wattage only on these two. 33.4545 dancing, 33.1, 33.1. So quite a bit of difference again. I don't know if it's a meter or the way I've got it connected up there. I honestly don't. I don't believe the capacity controller will show me any of that stuff other than the total voltage. So let's just plug that back in really quick and look at our total. Go down to Lion, 12.05, 11 point, I think it says 8, 12 here, 1191, 1191. Wow, 4 different meters and basically 4 different readings. These are all basically Chinese eBay stuff, so they're not expensive stuff whatsoever. I guess I'm really not surprised I'm getting 4 different readings. I'm really concerned about these two because these are the ones I want to have permanently connected, and one into this system and one into the big battery pack. So I don't know. I really need to set this up and do a comprehensive check against all this stuff with that all in line. It's just a pain to put to read the amps on that because it's all got to be in line, but it's certainly doable. Well, that's going to be it for this test, I believe. They both work and they're very similar. So, this is Christmas Eve. I got to go in and work a few hours today, and then I'm off. I don't, of course, work on Christmas Day. The company is closed here. So, I guess I'm going to do bottom balancing tomorrow. I believe when I come home today, I will go ahead and I'm going to disconnect all this stuff. When I come home today, I'll connect the iMax B6 back up and balance charge it back up to full because it's a little bit low, but I want to balance charge it, let it balance charge all the way back up and let it sit. And then tomorrow morning we'll do the bottom balancing, I believe. I'll hook the loads up. I know what I need to do is I need to get that halogen bulb out and connect it up and see how long this pack will run a halogen bulb. Even if it will, it's a 50 watt, so that's going to be asking a lot. So I'll hook that up and then we'll just bottom balance it. Boy, there's a lot to talk about there because it's going to be the first time I've ever bottom balanced, but I need to bring this pack down to where each cell is going to be right at 3 volts. Some people say 2.5, others say 2.75, and then some say never go below 3 volts because 3 volts on these is considered dead. But you want to bring it down to that, and it takes some time because it's got to reach a resting voltage. It needs to be able to sit at 3.3 volts permanently, and that's my understanding. So I was going to talk about that tomorrow. I just talked about it today. So we'll be back tomorrow with some bottom balancing on Christmas Day.